During the 2000s, the city of Atlanta underwent a profound physical, cultural, and demographic change, as some of the African American middle and upper classes also began to move to the suburbs. A booming economy drew numerous new migrants from other cities in the United States, who contributed to changes in the city's demographics. African Americans made up a decreasing portion of the population, from a high of 67% in 1990 to 54% in 2010. From 2000 to 2010, Atlanta gained 22,763 white residents, 5,142 Asian residents, and 3,095 Hispanic residents, while the city's black population decreased by 31,678. Much of the city's demographic change during the decade was driven by young, college-educated professionals. From 2000 to 2009, the 3-mile radius surrounding downtown Atlanta gained 9,722 residents aged 25 to 34 and holding at least a 4-year degree, an increase of 61%. This was similar to the tendency in other cities for young, college-educated, single or married couples to live in downtown areas between the mid-1990s and 2010. Stimulated by funding from the Hope Vi program and under leadership of CEO Renee Lewis Glover. 1994 to 2013. The Atlanta Housing Authority demolished nearly all of its public housing, a total of 17,000 units and about 10% of all housing units in the city. After reserving 2,000 units mostly for elderly, the AHA allowed redevelopment of the sites for mixed use and mixed income, higher density developments, with 40% of the units to be reserved for affordable housing. 2/5 of previous public housing residents attained new housing in such units. The remainder received vouchers to be used at other units, including in suburbs. At the same time, in an effort to change the culture of those receiving subsidized housing, the AHA imposed a requirement for such residents to work or be enrolled in a genuine, limited-time training program. It is virtually the only housing authority to have created this requirement. To prevent problems, the AHA also gave authority to management of the mixed income or voucher units to evict tenants who did not comply with the work requirement or who caused behavior problems in 2005. The city approved the $2.8 billion Beltline project. It was intended to convert a disused 22-mile freight railroad loop that surrounds the central city into an art-filled multi-use trail and light rail transit line, which would increase the city's park space by 40%. The project stimulated retail and residential development along the loop, but has been criticized for its adverse effects on some black communities. In 2013, the project received a federal grant of $18 million to develop the Southwest Corridor. In September 2019, the James M. Cox Foundation gave $6 million to the Path Foundation, which will connect the Silver Comet Trail to the Atlanta Beltline, which is expected to be completed by 2022. Upon completion, the total combined interconnected trail distance around Atlanta for the Atlanta Beltline and Silver Comet Trail will be the longest paved trail surface in the U.S., totaling about 300 miles, 480 kilometers. Atlanta's cultural offerings expanded during the 2000s. The High Museum of Art doubled in size. The Alliance Theater won a Tony Award, and art galleries were established on the once industrial West Side. The city of Atlanta was the subject of a massive cyber attack which began in March 2018. In December 2019, Atlanta hosted the Miss Universe 2019 pageant competition. On June 16, 2022, Atlanta was selected as a host city for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.